That more you can multiply, divide, and take powers of units, more complicated functions like exponentials and logarithms only apply to dimensionless quantities. You can see.
One thing I'd like your thoughts about is, do you feel like exp parentheses is more cursed than writing the number e raised to something? Because they're the same thing, it's just written differently. To me, it looks exp looks weirder, but maybe that's just me.
See this in complicated equations in other areas of science. The units have to cancel before we can apply weird functions to them. After all, it doesn't make sense to take the logarithm of a liter, right? Except that's exactly what pH is. The acidity of a solution in water is determined by the concentration of hydrogen ions. You need to measure this in moles per liter and then take minus the base 10 logarithm of that, and that's the pH. So, what's actually going on here is that we're simply dividing by a constant 1 mole per liter to make the units work out. And this is very important because if we measured the concentration in different units, we'd have to convert this 1 mole per liter to those units as well.
Yeah, I remember this, and this is... So you'll see this when, like, chemistry technicians take pH, at least the ones I've worked with, they would always convert to the metric units. Even if they typically take samples and measure it in gallons, they would just convert it because they'd use equations like this to measure the pH. But yeah, it's pretty weird. I've also never seen anyone really use the analog to pH, the POH, where you're looking at how basic or caustic something is.
This is why the whole study of dimensional analysis exists. When you conflate units, you get the results. Chemistry literature has a bad habit of randomly forgetting things in moles per liter, which makes the dimensional analysis really annoying. This all culminates in the reaction quotient, a quantity which, by some interpretations, has different units depending on the chemical reaction.
Yeah, and I think now we're getting back to metric tons of uranium again, because depending on what your enrichment is, if it's not a standard unit. By the way, another way of looking at that same concept, except it isn't displayed as a ratio, is effective fluid power per hours or effective fluid power per. That one to me makes a little bit more sense than what days per metric ton of uranium, because the ratio doesn't really add anything. Both units are dependent on your enrichment. And effective fluid power per hour, I don't necessarily have to keep running a conversion by hand. I just see that.
Is 7, and this thing can be used for time. pH is determined by the concentration of hydrogen ions in solution. Pure water doesn't have any ions, right? Metals turns out water self-ionizes, meaning your molecules randomly split up in the ions and they're randomly combined. The presence of these temporary ions gives water a pH of 7. Why 7? It's special about 7. That changes the temperature. It turns out the pH of pure water is exactly 7. This is around 8 degrees Celsius. So the choice of 7 is completely arbitrary.
What gets better is when you take samples, like measuring the pH of say reactor system, which is on the order of 600 degrees Fahrenheit and 250 psi. I'm going to get used to non-metric units because that's what I'm using to be able to make this comment first. Is these sample lines that in laboratories are not temperature and pressure because it's kind of hard to get most instruments functioning in those conditions. So, are you really measuring the pH per reactor?
Especially if what's actually just a number isn't too weird. It's quite common for two units of the same dimension to behave differently within the context. For instance, terms of microvolts are units of frequency. Usually seconds. The only difference between them is that the purpose of the same
You disciple You stole and spell and slash the great sages, rather. You even took your masters here. Just for a short reign over this barren valley.
So he's the master, because he said he even took your master's head. Wow. Whoa. Wow.
Amitabha. I am Bodhisattva Linchi of New Mount Sumeru, the warden of this rat. After the great sage's passing, his sixth senses were scattered across the mortal realm. This thieving rat chanced upon one of them, yet hindered by his meager might, he could not absorb its power. Thus he schemed with wicked intent. A victim of his deceit, I had my head taken by him. The sense requires such a grand container to release its power. I should bear the blame for his reign of havoc upon this ridge again. Through your valor and sagacity, order has been restored. You are the sole worthy one to keep it. Please, keep it secure in my stead.
Amitabha. Oh wow, another short story. Cool. Stop motion. Wow. Boy. It's true.
倒下了。这就一怪来。
Men, beasts, Buddhas, Yaoguais. Each of them bears a distinct root from birth, superior and inferior. None should disturb what's decided. Am I right, Sun Wukong?
With the wind and sand you've endured here, did you reach the forgotten kingdom at the end of the land? Did you find the clash of stones and the fall of Tiger's acolyte? If you shut your ears and heed only your inner murmur, I fear the more you yearn for flawless endings, the further you'll stray from the path. Rats and cats, neither grasped their destiny, and yet neither admitted it. Listen closely, young one. Their complaints ride upon the wind.